How's it going, everyone? My name is Jake. I go by JRide Flips, and I am a full-time eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, District, and Amazon reseller. My whole day is around. Sorry, I feel like I'm a little discombobulated here. I go around to thrift stores, yard sales, estate sales, flea markets, online sourcing to get as many profitable items as possible, and I resell them on places like NBA lover. How's it going, Mark? And I sell them on places like eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, District, and Amazon. Today, I just wanted to talk to you guys quick about a few tips on how you can become a better reseller. And if you guys have any questions about reselling, about eBay or District, my new platform, First Class Treasures, if you have any questions about yard sales, thrift stores, sourcing, if you guys have questions about promoted listings or how to do shipments, anything like that, please put them in the comments and we will get to them. This is going to be a bit shorter of a live today because I'm actually going live on First Class Treasures, my new website, in 30 minutes. And I would love it if you guys could click the first link in the description and join that platform. But until then, let's go ahead and answer some questions about reselling in general. I just wanted to start while you guys are asking some questions. I'm not going to be saying a ton of hellos and all of that like I usually do, just because we have limited time today. So if you guys have any questions, please put them in all caps or with 3 question marks at the beginning. So that way we can have a nice little discussion about reselling topics. In my eyes, there are 3 main pillars of reselling. And when you master these 3 things, you will have a really nice reselling business. And then there are 6 daily tasks that you must do to keep your business running and growing. So, pillar number 1, which is most important, is sourcing. It's really, really, really important that you source good items at a good price that sell for a great price. Okay. A lot of times we focus on the algorithm and the platforms themselves and all these mysterious things that hide or promote or show our listings, when a lot of times we take the focus off what we are actually buying to resell on eBay. There are many ways to source, including probably the most foundational that most of you guys watching this today is, which is yard sales, thrift stores, and flea markets. I've talked about various other ways on this channel on how to source as well, but those are basically the main 3. Some areas, the thrift stores, are just absolutely terrible, and so you have to limit how often you go to them and limit how much you actually source from them, while in other areas, thrift stores are incredible and are one of your main sources of income. I have traveled the United States and I'm going to be doing more of that in the future. And I have been able to find profitable items in every city and state that I have been to so far. But a lot of times we like to focus on what we like. So a lot of people tell me that their thrift stores in their city or their state suck. And I go to those thrift stores and I find out that they're actually pretty good. And that isn't because I am amazing and really good at this job. It's just because I take a look at a lot of different things that other people don't. A lot of times when people say, hey, my thrift stores suck, I go to their thrift stores and I go immediately to the electronics station or section where people don't like to look for these items because they're afraid of returns or things not working. There's a ton of other things involved in selling electronics that people don't want to get their hands dirty with. And so I have first pick at a lot of these really, really good items. Now, I have found thrift stores where even the electronics are priced really high. That does happen. Sometimes the Ninja blender is priced at $150. There's not much you can do about it. But a lot of people that tell me that thrift stores suck, they only source clothing and they are competing with a ton of other. Hey, Casey Billings, thanks for being in here. They're competing with a ton of other clothing resellers, or they only source glass and decorations and collectibles, and more thrift stores are putting those items online. So when you're only looking for a small group of items, a lot of thrift stores are not going to be a great place for you to source. But if you're looking for cameras and calculators and sunglasses and video games and plush and t-shirts. We just got a $15 offer on eBay for some Ray-Ban sunglasses. That's a little low, but I might accept it. A lot of people go into these thrift stores looking for 1 to even 4 or 5 categories, and then they just write off their thrift stores completely because they don't have really good glass or decoration items. So one thing that I recommend is not writing off your thrift stores completely. It's even if your thrift stores suck, because like I said, there are thrift stores that just price things astronomically high. But even those thrift stores, you can still find small items worth your time for $1 to $5. Things get missed all the time. The second thing is yard sales. Now, if you live in a place like I do in northern Utah, it is really cold right now. So I can't go to yard sales because there aren't any, unless I travel about 400 miles north to Las Vegas, which is something that I'm probably going to do next week or the next week. There's no yard sales to be had because it's too cold. If you live in a place like Florida, you have thrifts. It's like peak thrift store. I mean, peak yard sale season right now because the weather is really nice there. And there are a lot of retired people doing yard sales almost honestly, even during the weekday and especially on weekends. But then once it gets to the hotter months of the year, there's no yard sales at all, but you can just simply travel up north and find these yard sales. And then the third option is flea markets. Again, it's cold here. There are some indoor flea markets up in northern Utah, but it's mostly, Chinese bags and sunglasses and like new items, even like pastries and corn dogs and stuff. So not great for reselling, but during the summer, they're great. So I know I say all the time that it's not your area that determines if you're good at reselling, it's you. But with that being said, you also have to understand, okay, how good actually are my thrift stores? When can I actually go to yard sales and flea markets? When is it advantageous for me to do all these things? And build your business around that. Now, outside of your area, there are tons of ways of getting really good product. I used to source thousands of items per month off of eBay to resell them on eBay. Now it's down to about hundreds per month. I'm just doing a ton of different other businesses and other things occupying my time. But you can go to ebay.com and you can search CD lot, and you can find really good metal and rock CDs for under $2 each with a lot of 80 of them. You can do the same thing with sunglasses. I do this every day. You can do the same thing with Pokemon cards or video games or pocket knives or digital cameras or remote controls. I recommend doing this with anything that's small and can fit in your hand or weighs under a pound. You can do this with postcards, with ephemera, with coins, with everything. I make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year by buying things off of eBay and reselling them on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and District. Now, a second thing that you can do online is District. I have my own platform called First Class Treasures, which I'm about to go live on in about 15 or 20 minutes. I really hope a lot of you head over to that auction. It's a first link in the description. Will get you over to my website. I would love it if all of you guys would join that. And then in about 20 or 30 minutes, I'm going to be going live. And it's a great opportunity for people to source. I'm going to be selling a ton of items that sell for $20, $25, $30, $40 on eBay. And because the site is small and in its growing stage, you can get a lot of these items for a really good price. Same thing on Dibdit, same thing on Knickknacks, same thing on Craigslist Hunters, same thing on all of these sports channels. I am sourcing thousands of dollars of product weekly on District through these live auctions. I've gotten a ton of cards off of Dibdit cards that I'm able to sell on eBay for a profit, or I'm able to get these cards. Sometimes I'm able to get 15 or 20 cards for only $3. I get those cards. 2 or 3 of them are worth listing on eBay by themselves. And then the other 15 or so, I will actually sell live on my platform where I have some more followers and things like that. And I'm able to get a little bit of money for them. So honestly, I you can make a ton of money through online sourcing, through eBay, and through District is a really awesome place, including Whatnot, to get very cheap, very expensive items for very cheap prices. So I really recommend, even if you aren't interested in First Class Treasures, my website in the link in the description, all of these other places are really good. And a lot of times you can get, so I just bought a DS off of DibDit, a DS Lite. It's blue. I bought it for $35, and I'm going to resell it on eBay for $65. And I'm going to make a really easy $20. It's probably going to sell the week I list it. And I can also get all of these other items. A lot of times, even if items are getting bid up, you see this on ADH Dave, especially right now, who went full time selling on DibDit. He's selling really good eBay inventory, and he has a huge following, and a lot of people are super excited to go to his shows. And sometimes his $80 eBay items sell for $65, so there's almost no room to profit on. But a lot of times he'll sell a Breyer horse worth $48 that only sells for $8. And if you can snag that for $8, buy a few other items, there's not a huge shipping cost. You're into it maybe $9.50, and you sell it for $38 plus shipping. That's an incredible margin for something that sells extremely fast. So I'm really utilizing eBay lots and the platform District to accumulate, because right now in northern Utah, it's tough. Like sourcing right now, the most important part of my business is really tough. It's cold outside, and there's definitely no yard sales, and people don't want to donate. Hey, Antonio Alvarado, thank you for joining the platform, First Class Treasures. I super appreciate that. Link in the description if any of you want to join as well. But people don't want to get out of their cars in the ice and donate items because it's cold outside and they may slip and fall. And people don't want, hey, how's it going, Lag? Appreciate you being here. People don't want to go into their cold attics or cold garage and put things together in a bucket to go take to the Goodwill, or in my case, the Deseret Industries, because it's cold and miserable outside. And if they just wait a couple months, spring cleaning will be here. It'll be warm outside. Thank you so much, Thomas, for joining First Class Treasures. That's awesome. Really appreciate you guys. It's too cold to donate right now for a lot of people. So right now, there's this lull. I'm still getting anywhere from 1 to 7 decent products from thrift stores every day. I went thrifting this morning. I got a couple Guitar Hero guitars that are worth 40 each. I got some Oakley ski goggles. I think I got 11 items today, and I went to 2 thrift stores, so 5.5 each store. That's pretty decent. But that's not my typical thrift store route. When it's warm outside, I usually get anywhere from 5 to 15 profitable items every thrift store. Again, because I look at electronics and comic books and toys and yard area equipment and tools and decorations and glass. I look at everything, so I have more of a pool to search from. Thank you so much, Legacy Items, for joining First Class Treasures. I really appreciate it. That's super awesome. And again, I have just about 15 more minutes. I want to get into a couple questions here, but it's tough sourcing right now. So unless you live in Florida or Texas or California, you're not going to have yard sales and flea markets. I mean, one of my friends, Keith Vintage Sports Flips, they still have really good flea markets, even though it's -2 degrees where he is over there in the northeastern states. But it's tough. So Jose Riviera, thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you. But yeah, so sourcing right now can be pretty tough for people, and I really recommend still using that big 3 plus estate sales. I pretty much group estate sales and yard sales together. Keep going to your estate sales and yard sales and flea markets if they're available to you right now. Keep going to your thrift stores, even though there's not as many donations. You're still going to find really good items, because I mean, there's still dozens of people donating to my thrift stores every day, which is good. But during the summer, it's like there are dozens of people in line every single minute of every single day, just getting a ton of product, and they're getting put on the shelves, and it's awesome. So right now, I think it's really advantageous for you guys to learn how to source online. Thank you, Sean Green, for joining First Class Treasures. You guys are awesome. It's really advantageous to source online, ebay.com. If I show you guys my phone right here, so when I go to my search on eBay, you're going to see I have, you guys probably can't see it very well, coin lot, CD lot, car emblems lot, junk drawer lot, eyeglasses lot, electronics lot, makeup lot, sunglasses lot. A lot of these are 99 plus. So I have 99 plus items to look at. See, look right here. I just got a notification from eBay saying my order is on its way. I just barely bought a lot of anime comics, as well as I bought 1,000 stamps for 99 cents. Matty J. Blige, what a guy. After fees and shipping and everything, I spent $6.11 for thousands of stamps from the 20s to 80s that will sell really well on First Class Treasures and Dipped It and live shows and things like that. So, do you typically buy on auctions? Ron, every single day of my life. I buy 1 to 10 auctions on eBay every day. My goal is to buy 3 or 4 every single day. Sometimes it's lean, sometimes it's plentiful. But yeah, buying auctions on eBay and then taking advantage of District via First Class Treasures and Dipped It and these other online sources, going to Whatnot. I've made a lot of money off of Whatnot as well, just buying things from people for $3 that are worth 25 and flipping them on eBay. So let's see if we have any questions in here. Says, so when you take profit on an item, how do you calculate how much to put aside for taxes? I do 30%, but then how do you calculate what to save and what to reinvest for shipping, sourcing, etc.? I love this question. Okay. I'm very passionate about taxes and investing and everything that goes into it. I am not a CPA or a tax professional, so this is all for educational purposes only. Do not follow the advice of some 29-year-old kid on the internet. If you do things correctly, which is what the tax code is set out for, okay. When people consume and when companies produce, the economy goes great. When people stop consuming and it's harder for companies to produce, the economy suffers, right? Very basic stuff. I don't want this to be controversial because a lot of people, oh, consumer index, pricing, non-discretionary, discretionary spending, all this, okay? I don't want to get into that. But basically, when Americans are buying stuff and when companies have the environment to produce stuff, the economy goes great. Regardless of who's in office, regardless of a ton of different factors, when all of us are buying and companies are producing, things go great. The tax code is written so that way companies can produce more. When interest rates are higher and it's harder to borrow money, typically we see regressions in the economy because companies can't produce as many ideas and products for us to buy. The tax code is written so that we can produce more. So myself and other entrepreneurs pay very little in taxes because of that benefit. So I have an S corporation, which saves me a ton of money on taxes in the first place. And then I use all of the necessary and legal write-offs to make sure that I keep as much of the money that I make as possible. And I'm able to use it to employ other people and to produce more. So that way I can positively affect the economy. I would recommend putting away 25%, but if you're doing everything correctly, you're not going to pay 25% of your profit in taxes. One of the biggest things that you can do is you can get into real estate, and there's a ton of different tax advantages on the interest of the home, the occupancy of the home, as well as huge benefits for first-time home buyers. Because of that first-time home buying credit, we're able to wipe out a lot of our taxes, right? But I would recommend putting away about 25% of your earnings, and then don't calculate each item. Just if you make $100,000, deduct your cost of goods, deduct your mileage, deduct your office space, deduct your computer that you spent money on to do work. Deduct all of your appropriate utilities that you use for your business. Deduct your internet bill and cell phone in accordance with how much you use it for your business. Make sure you're involved in real estate. If you employ people, make sure that you're writing off all of those wages, no matter how small it is. Everything that goes into that. The IRS doesn't expect business owners to make money in the first 4 years of business, because they want you to take all of the money that you're making and put it back into the economy and produce more things. So I know that was a really, really lag. No, you can't. If you buy lunch for your employees, then you can definitely deduct that. But if it's for yourself, even if it's like during working hours or things like that, you just got to talk to your CPAs. But the food thing gets very, very sketchy, right? But anyway, I put away 25% of everything I earn into a tax advantage savings account, and I let that grow over time. And then however much in taxes I owe each quarter and at the end of the year, I just withdraw from that to pay my taxes. But yeah, make sure that you have a CPA, no matter how small you guys are. If you spend $400 on a CPA, you will save more than $400 in taxes, because they know the code, they know the tax system, and they're going to be able to save you guys money. So I definitely recommend having a CPA, no matter how small you are. But yeah, I put away 25%, and it's all good to go from there. Let's see if there's any questions. How do you find comps for clothing? When I try to look up vintage Wrangler shirts, there are 4,000 sold with 4,000 different patterns and prices. How do you know to narrow it down? You use those prices, you use those patterns and stuff. So when you type in Tommy Bahama shirt, you're probably going to get, I don't know, 180,000. Let's see how close my guess is. Tommy Bahama shirt. I guessed 180,000. There's 150,000 plus. And then when you filter to sold, there's 23,000. Okay, not a great sell-through rate. But then if I do Tommy Bahama shirt silk, there are 14,000. Okay, over half of the Tommy Bahama shirts that are sold on eBay have silk in the description. Okay, so that's definitely one that you want to look for, is silk. And then you can type in large. Okay, there are 57,000 of those shirts available, and 3,600 have sold. And then you just use patterns, sizes, all of those different keywords to narrow your results. Let's see here. Not a ton of questions today. If you guys have any questions about eBay or reselling or first class treasures, Amazon, anything like that. But I'm going to hop off in about 10 minutes, and I'm going to be auctioning off, some sterling silver 925 necklaces, as well as some vintage pocket knives, and a ton of really cool stuff in about 10 minutes. My favorite food is burgers. I just love burgers. Burgers are great. I go back and forth between steaks and burgers, but burgers just always have a home in my belly, for sure, and my heart. But yeah, I would really appreciate it if you guys clicked the first link in the description. It's going to take you to firstclasstreasures.com. That is my new reselling platform on District. Five Guys is okay. I'd really appreciate it if you guys click that link and joined. I'm going to be hopping off in just 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm going to be doing a live stream. Even if you guys aren't interested in buying anything, I'd love for you guys to just be there and hang out and really support the community. And if you guys would like to sell on the platform, you can apply to sell, and it'll be really good. Jose says, I hear First Class Treasures is an up-and-coming reselling platform that has a variety of items for great prices. Is that true? That sure is. It sure is true, man. I appreciate it, Jose. But yeah, guys, my favorite burger. So there's this place, I think it's only local to Utah, called Crown Burger. That one's pretty good. I love a good In-N-Out burger. It's not like high up on my list, but I do enjoy In-N-Out for sure. But yeah, I just love going to a restaurant and getting a good old steak burger. It's really good. But yeah, all right, guys. There weren't a ton of questions today, which is perfectly fine. I know it's right in the middle of a work day for the majority of people out there, so I really appreciate all the support. Again, I don't want to shill super hard, but there's 54 of you guys in here. Please click the link in the description, and please join my new reselling platform, First Class Treasures. I'm going to hop off right now, and I'll see you guys in the live over there, and let's have some fun. I'm going to answer this one last question from Isaiah, if I can find it. Isaiah, if you're here, will you ask your question again? Because I'm not seeing it anywhere. I don't know what Anthony is talking about. This one? I already answered that. Anthony, you may have been late. What do you think about liquidation pallets and storage units for sourcing? If you are a live seller, storage units can be really good. I know a lot of people that do really well static listings on eBay with storage units, but it's a ton of work. But if you live sell on First Class Treasures or whatnot or things like that, what you can do is you can put all of the eBay items in a pile, and then you can do live show items like Betty Boop. It just doesn't sell super well on eBay. It really doesn't. Like there are some pieces that sell really well, but it has a pretty slow sell-through rate. But there are people that love collecting Betty Boop, and if you run it live right in that storage unit, you're going to get a ton of people bidding on it and get, $5, $6, $8, $12, $15 for a Betty Boop plush. They would have sat on eBay for $10 free shipping for months and months and months and months on end. Pallets, I don't recommend for beginners. A lot of times you spend $700 to gross 900, and after fees and all of the hours that you put in, you profit maybe $60. And if you have 2 returns, you lost money. It's a very tough game to be in, so I don't recommend it for beginners at all. I recommend getting all of your items piece by piece at thrift stores, yard sales, estate sales, flea markets, and those online sourcing opportunities. But yeah, pallets are a tough game for sure. I wouldn't recommend it to I did a pallet, consumed my time. Yeah, it's tough. And again, there are a ton of people that make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month doing pallets. I'm not talking like against it, but when you are starting out, it's not what I would get started in for sure. But again, I really appreciate all the time, guys. If you guys could click that first link in the description and join First Class Treasures, I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to end the stream and then head over there and do a live stream. Really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for all you do for me. I love you guys. Bye.